this is a word that I would like to use in relation to this relationship, that William felt utterly abandoned. And that word was used by someone very close to William. And I think it's going to take a long, long time for him to recover from that.
Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and their 2 children are coming back to the UK, for the time being at least, perhaps for good. This all comes out of the so-called Sandringham Summit, which put an end to their being half-in, half-out royals. They were told, move to America, but you can't use royal stylings of His Royal Highness, and you must lead independent lives. Well, we now learn that their return to the UK could see Meghan returning on that basis, perhaps even taking up a role as an actress in Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. But more significantly, perhaps, for Harry, could it actually lead to a rapprochement with his father and his brother? Well, let's get the views of Andrew Morton, the celebrated author of Diana, Her True Story, which really opened up the rifts in the royal family back in the last century. And now, of course, he's written a key piece in today's Sunday Times. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Adam. What strange times we live in.
Yeah, they are strange. I mean, are you surprised by this?
Well, Harry's been sending out peace smoke signals for the last year or so. So that's not a total surprise. What is surprising is the speed with which they've moved. It's almost like their place at Montecito is like some ragtag armies just moved out. I mean, I find it amazing that they've chosen schools, somewhere to live, moved the whole place out without sticking their toe in the water first.
What do you think lies behind it? I mean, it has to be said, the American press, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and indeed our own Sarah Baxter writing in the Sunday Times today, all saying really, you know, they'd run out of rope in California.
Well, yes, I mean they've done what the Queen advised them not to do. Don't mix commercial ventures with your royal duties, and they sold their royalty, their royalness, as it were, in the Oprah interview and in the 6-part documentary about them, and it's the kind of the sophomore thing. What do you do after you've done that? Once you've sold yourself, what else do you do? And the things that they've done have not been particularly successful. So a return to Britain might give them a new start. They can be half in, half out royals, and who's going to stop them?
Well, so you think in spite of that Sandringham Summit we were talking about, that they, you know, Harry is going to behave much more like a traditional member of the royal family from now on? Well,
they can do what they want without necessarily impinging upon the thinking that brought about the half in, half out. He can do his charity work, he can shake hands with people, he can bring a smile. In many respects, he's doing what he did when he was a member of the royal family. So, you know, it sans the royal family, but it's a celebrity. It's a celebrity angle that they're working.
What about his wife? She may have a more awkward re-entry. I mean, what do you think she's going to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been talk about working on a Guy Ritchie movie, which I take with a big pinch of salt. I mean, Guy Ritchie's not known for his female leads in his movies. It's always a boy's own lark. Yeah, I mean, it's Harry who's whistling a merry tune. He's back with his friends, his family. You can see members of his family that he still gets on with. Obviously, not William. And he can do his charity work. He's got the Invictus Games coming up in Birmingham next year. That's going to take a lot of organising. So he's a happy camper. Not so much Meghan. I don't see how she's going to run her as CEO run her jam making business as ever from 6,000 miles away.
Do you think you suggest in your piece that there was a moment of opportunity for Harry because of a change in Sir Clive Alderton announcing that he was retiring, and also a perhaps surprising rapprochement at their private meeting at Highgrove with the Queen, with Camilla?
Yes, I mean, it reminded me of the departure of Sir Robert Fellows, the Queen's private secretary, who was very much against Camilla and Charles marrying. And once he went, there was a more conciliatory tone and a change in the mood music. Well, Harry's made no bones about his loathing of Sir Clive Alderton, the King's private secretary. And so his departure may well change the mood music. It is, for outsiders, it's always difficult to appreciate just how important these private secretaries are in shaping and manipulating their principles.
Do you think that this could be good for the royal family, just in the sense that it keeps the soap opera going, or is it really potentially dangerous with, as you say, the apparently and not denied hostility between the two brothers?
I think that it's probably a good thing, because it makes William and Catherine up their game, because they don't do that many engagements, so they might do a few more. They know that they've got rivals at court, as it were. So you might see a spicier interchange.
Difficult to tell, obviously, we don't know, but where do you think the King is on all of this?
Somebody said to me fairly recently that the King and Harry are very, very close, and it's Diana was very close to William. It was never the other way around. And I think Prince Charles has missed dear boy, his how he refers to Harry, and there's always been a great well of empathy and sympathy for Harry. I mean, the late Queen told several of her aides to keep an eye on Harry, because we've seen in his life, it's a kind of a rackety, raucous existence he leads. I mean, to misquote Sir Alex Ferguson, he could start a fight in an empty room.
And looking more broadly, is there any chance of a rapprochement with William, do you think?
I think William has been deeply, deeply hurt by what both Harry wrote about him and said about him, especially given the medical condition of Catherine and his father. This is a word that I would like to use in relation to this relationship, that William felt utterly abandoned. And that word was used by someone very close to William. And I think it's going to take a long, long time for him to recover from that.
That is Andrew Morton there, the royal biographer of Diana, Princess of Wales, and of the Queen. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Times Radio. You can catch up with more of his writing on his Substack, The Morton Files, and of course today in the Sunday Times.